What's up, everybody? It's the Aidan Sports Show, and welcome back to another video. Today it is Manchester United versus Arsenal, 0-1 to Arsenal match reaction. And to be honest, I'm here. I feel so disappointed with this team. And again, I can understand it's a big team. It's Arsenal. Like they are a good team. I said they were a good team coming into this, and I can understand the loss. But sometimes when you lose, you need to look back on how you lost. And there's always going to be results where you lose in this league, especially in the Premier League against tougher sides. You can't always expect a victory. I expected this victory. I expected to come into this winning this game, but we lost. So now that we have lost, it's time to look at how we've lost. And there's a certain way to lose with Manchester United. There's a certain way to lose to make sure that you've given everything to this team. You've given everything to the shirt. You've created opportunities. You were able to get some shots on target. You were able to dominate possession. You were able to do all these things that Manchester United are known for doing, especially when we're down, to know that we've given everything to try and win the game. And unfortunately, Manchester United did not live up to that expectation. Again, this game was stagnant, this game was boring, this game was not grabbed by either team. I mean, Arsenal were the better team and they deserved that victory. They deserved the penalty and they deserved the goal. But they didn't grab this by the throat and take it the way that they should have. And neither did Manchester United. And that is where the negatives lie here. It's one step forward and two steps back. We cannot keep going where we have one fantastic performance and the next performance we're so boring and lackluster that it's beyond repairable. I mean, what does that Leipzig performance do for us today? Nothing. It doesn't do anything for this performance today, because this performance just shows that Manchester United are extremely inconsistent. We're poor. We're not a side that will keep having good games. And look, full credit to Arsenal for going out and winning that game. Again, the five at the back worked extremely well. You saw it. I predicted what Arsenal were going to do. They were going to keep the ball well. They were going to have a lot of possession. In the first half, with five at the back, they had more possession than us. That should not be allowed, man. With five at the back, we should be having the most possession. We played a diamond. That midfield should have won the midfield battle, yet we didn't. We lost to one midfielder. Or two with Thomas Partey as well. So at the end of the day, Manchester United, this is the situation. We look back at that loss and we're upset. We're not happy with that. How could we find that acceptable? I believe in the middle of the second half after their goal, I'm pretty sure it was Harry Maguire that said it, but it was very loud and clear, and I'm pretty sure all of you could hear it on the TV. They were saying that Arsenal were taking the piss out of us. They were taking the piss out of us. And they did. They took the piss out of us. But where's the reaction? Where's the response? Where was the response after a shocking first half? 10 minutes of good possession, and then we fall back into insecurities. We fall back into Arsenal having the ball. They dominated this game from start to finish, in my opinion. We did not deserve to win that game. We did not deserve to draw that game. It was just a shocking performance from Manchester United. It wasn't as bad as Burnley or Brighton, sorry. It wasn't as bad as Tottenham. It wasn't as bad as Crystal Palace. But it was bad enough to say that this was not a good performance. And we should not be proud of this team for giving everything for us, because I don't think they did. I thought there were a bunch of players out there that were bang average, and majority of them were, some of them were below average. It just wasn't a good performance from Manchester United from start to end, from the front line to the back line. There were question marks everywhere, and it's just not. It's not a great performance. It's not a good performance. I don't know what else to say, man. It's a 1-0 loss to Arsenal, and I expected more from this team. And again, they've left me disappointed. One step forward, two steps back. They took the piss out of us, and we sit here. We have to accept this result. I don't like that. We have to accept this result. We need to move on, because the Premier League now is going to pass us by soon. And we're still stuck in the 15th spot. We're still stuck at the bottom of the league. We're still stuck in this area where it's getting dangerous now. It's getting dangerous that this league is going to run away from us right before it barely starts, man. I mean, it's 6 games in and we're still 15th. That's something that I can't accept. That's something that should not be acceptable at Manchester United. And there needs to be changes in the squad in the style of play, in our aggression, and in the players' attitudes to make sure that we don't let this happen. But again, the league is wide open, and at the moment, where I can't believe how open this league is. Yet we are not going to be the team that takes it. We're not going to be the team that takes the Premier League. That's obvious. But we're not even going to be a team. We're going to be a team in a very close Premier League race that's going to be fighting for a place in Europe. That definitely includes the Europa League. That's not necessarily the Champions League. We'll be lucky to fight for a Europa League spot at the moment. So this team, it's inconsistent. Fantastic performance in the Champions League. Dreadful performance against Arsenal. And now we're left wondering, why is that the case? And I have more questions than answers. I can't answer that for you. I don't know what went wrong today, but all I know is that it went wrong. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's substitutions, in my opinion, was a big part of it being wrong, but you can't blame everything on Ole. And Paul Pogba, who was given the penalty, you can't blame it all on Paul Pogba as well. Yes, the penalty was absolutely shocking. I can't believe he decided to go for a challenge in the penalty box like that. And people are going to criticize and target out Paul Pogba. Look, at the end of the day, when you concede a penalty, you're going to get targeted. It's just the way that football is. But this is more than just Paul Pogba. This is more than just Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's substitutions. This is more than just a bad performance from our players. Because this was a game that was must win. And we didn't find that ambition to win the game. We didn't find that desire to win the game. We didn't find the opportunities to win the game. So at the end of the day, we sit here with a loss. And all I have to say is that Arsenal deserved the win. And again, you show the respect to the good teams because they deserve it. Arsenal is a good team. They had a good team with good injuries, and they still found a way to win this game. And we sit here and we wonder what could have been. But what could have been is a different story. So now it's time to talk about Manchester United's player ratings. Look, it's not, I'm sorry, I'm not energetic or anything like that. How could I be after that? It's 5:30 in the morning now. And I'm sitting here reacting to Manchester United's 1-0 loss to Arsenal, and it was just a poor performance. There's nothing that can give me positivity about that. The diamond didn't give me any positivity. The players didn't give me any positivity. The penalty wasn't a missed opportunity because it was definitely a penalty. The only thing I can say is maybe Gabriel should have been sent off, but that's a stretch. And maybe the foul on Matic could have been a penalty, but again, that's a stretch. I can't say those things with full guarantee. I can't say that was a penalty on Nemanja Matic. To be honest, I don't think it was. And that could be controversial. I don't know. And I do think Gabriel should have been sent off, but I don't. That's too far in between, man. I do think, regardless if Gabriel should have sent off or not, Arsenal were going to win that game. It was very straightforward. As soon as the first goal was scored, that team was going to win that game because there was just no ambition from either side at a consistent basis to go and win it. So whoever was going to win that first goal was going to win the game. And it went to Arsenal and they won the game. First time in Old Trafford, I think in 14 years, they've won. It was going to happen sooner or later, but you don't want it to happen in this season when we're 15th. I mean, that's not what you want to see. So, yeah, I'm going to go to the play ratings now. Hopefully, you guys have kept with me so far. Please like and subscribe if you still are here. I'm trying to get to 270 subscribers. Let's see how quickly we can get there. But enough about that. Let's go to the play ratings. David De Gea gets... Oh, it's tough with David De Gea because I'm borderline 7 or 6 with him. I'm going to give him a 6 because he didn't have that much to do. He made a fantastic save for Thomas Partey's shot. It was a very, very hard ball to save. It was well driven and he caught it and he did well. But I don't remember David De Gea having that much to do. Again, Arsenal really had a few shots on target. They had the better chances. I mean, Aubameyang, the Willian one hit the post. Aubameyang had a few chances. Lacazette had a chance that he scuffed, absolutely missed the ball, and of course the penalty. So Arsenal had the better chances in the game. But David De Gea, a lot of the shots weren't on target. A lot of the shots weren't at David De Gea. So I think a 6 is fair. He only had around 1 or 2 saves, I believe. And we lost the game. And unfortunately, he couldn't save the penalty. Again, there's no real fault on David De Gea's part for this loss. I don't think any of the defense, to be fair, is at blame for this loss. So, yeah, we will move on. Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Look, this wasn't the best Aaron Wan-Bissaka performance we've seen by any stretch of the means. I mean, Saka was one of their best players today. I think a lot of people could give him the man of the match, which, that's up to you guys if you want to give Arsenal players the man of the match. I'm not really bothered about that. But I'm going to give Aaron Wan-Bissaka a 6. I thought he stood his ground well. I thought he defended well again in spades. Forward line, not much there. But again, he got overlapped. And that's the thing with this diamond. I mean, we all like the diamond. And I don't think we should go away from the diamond just yet. Again, this is an experimental period for Manchester United. We need to go with what works. The diamond worked against Leipzig. And the diamond should have worked here. But again, the players did not live up to their performances from Champions League till now. So the big issue with this diamond was if you don't have people that are tracking the fullbacks and the wingers, which is hard with a diamond, then you're ultimately going to get overloaded in the wings. And that's what happened. We saw a lot of crosses into the box. We saw a lot of Tierney doing well. We saw a lot of Saka on one end. We had Willian and Holding didn't really do much on that side, but Willian was all right as well. Bellerin, they had enough on the wings to cause trouble for Manchester United, and that's the issue with the diamond. We're so narrow, we're so compacted in the middle that when we're playing teams that has wingers and good wingers, we can struggle against them. But again, the wingers were not the ones that won the game for Arsenal. They weren't. What won the game for Arsenal was their midfield, was their defensive play. So the wingers did cause trouble, but they're not the main reason. So I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka deserves a 6. Victor Lindelof, look, this might be a stupid opinion. I don't know. I'm gonna watch and I'm gonna read what other people think about this after. I thought Victor Lindelof was man of the match, so I'm gonna give Victor Lindelof a 7. It's a shame that a 7 out of 10 is gonna get you your man of the match, but again, that just shows that this squad above it wasn't up to par, wasn't up to the level, wasn't up to the capabilities. And I thought Victor Lindelof was good. He had very, very vital interceptions. The game, there could have been situations where more shots were on target if it wasn't for Victor Lindelof. And the one with Lacazette really stands out. We got a vital touch at the end to make sure Lacazette missed his shot. Again, in a one-on-one situation where Fred missed the counter-attack, Victor Lindelof was there to block the ball. He made vital interceptions. And again, he didn't have a standout game. He wasn't the player that I noticed the most, but I thought in his areas he did well. And that's all I can really say on that situation. So Victor Lindelof is my man of the match. Again, if you guys disagree, that's fine. I don't think anyone deserves to be man of the match on his performances, to be fair. So it doesn't really matter who I give it to. But Victor Lindelof, in my opinion, had a good game. So we'll move on from that. Harry Maguire. I thought Harry Maguire also had a good game. Again, he was vital in the clearances from the corners. Again, the set-piece plays for Arsenal, I'm not sure if they're very good at them or not. Again, I can't say with Benediction they're good at set pieces, but they did have Holding and they did have Gabriel, and they did have some sort of aerial threat. Harry Maguire dealt with that pretty well. Again, he did the offensive headering pretty well, and that's about it. That's really about it. Again, Harry Maguire was the one that was saying, I believe it was Harry Maguire. If I'm wrong, you can tell me, but Harry Maguire was the one that was saying that they're taking the piss out of us. And again, that's our captain saying that to our players, and our players didn't respond. I don't like that situation. I don't like how that was dealt. I don't like how Arsenal ran leaps and bounds over us. I mean, they worked tremendously, much more harder than us. So Harry Maguire was right. They took the piss out of us. And you can't say that we fought back from that. We allowed it to happen. So that's our captain. That is our captain that said that, and no one responded. So either the leadership in this squad is not the right leadership, or these players are not the right players, and they don't respond when the chips are down. So I don't know what to say, but they took the piss out of us, and that's very true. And that really stood out to me more than anything I saw in this game, was the way that he said that, was the way that they did. And yeah, anyway, we move on. Luke Shaw was good and bad at the same time, in my opinion. But I'm going to give Luke Shaw an above-average score at 7, because I thought he was better than Wan-Bissaka today. I thought attacking-wise he was better than Wan-Bissaka today, and I thought defensively he was better than Wan-Bissaka today. Again, he got double-teamed a lot on that side. Bellerin had fantastic crosses into the box from that side. But again, Willian was very, very quiet except for that one shot on goal, and that's due to Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw took our corners and our set pieces, and a lot of our set pieces were the most attacking threats that we had in the game. So I'm going to give Luke Shaw a 7. It could be a biased 7, could be an undeserved 7, but that's a 7 that he's going to get. And I thought he was one of the better players today, but that doesn't say much. Again, that does not say much. Let's go into the midfield. The midfield, in my opinion, Oh my. Look, when the diamond works, we will play very well, and when the midfielders are on it. But unfortunately, the midfield today really let us down, and that's where the area you expected us to do well. We should have won this midfield battle. It was around what? It was Bruno, Scott, Fred, Pogba, and it was 4-on-2. I mean, I think who'd they have? El Neni and Thomas Partey. And I think both of those players could be considered man of the match for Arsenal. I definitely think El Neni was fantastic for Arsenal. So yeah, we lost the midfield battle to two midfielders, and that's just the way that it was. You have to move on from that. I mean, it's unacceptable. But again, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. So let's move to, we'll start off with Fred. Fred did not have a good game. Again, Fred, his passing was a lot worse than usual, and sometimes Fred makes woeful passes, but with Fred today, it seems like all of his passes didn't go well. He got a yellow card very early, so it kind of nullified him out of this game. He definitely wasn't his greater performances, and again, we needed to win the midfield battle, and I don't think Fred stepped up to the plate today. He got subbed out very early. I can't give Fred. I think Fred gets a 5. I mean, you don't. I think a lot of the midfield is going to get low scores. You cannot lose this midfield battle to Arsenal when they're playing 5 at the back. You just cannot do it, and we did do that. So no midfielder on this team should be getting a good score, and Fred is the prime example of that. I think Fred's going to get a 5. I don't think he was great. I think he turned the ball over a lot. His first touch caused problems. They attacked him when he had the ball, and he turned it a lot because of that. Turned over a lot because of that. And that's just the way that I saw Fred's performance today. Hopefully, it's not a similar repeat against Everton. We had that Champions League game as well, which I'm not bothered about the Champions League right now. I'm trying to focus all my head on the Premier League because we are in deep trouble now. We'll move on to Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay gets a 5 out of 10 as well. To be fair, I actually think it was the right substitution to take Fred out and keep McTominay in this game, because McTominay didn't look as poor on the ball as Fred was today, which is something that you usually say with Scott McTominay. His ball, his passing, it's not good. But I think today was vice versa. I thought Scott McTominay did all right. Again, he gets beaten way too much. Absolutely way too much. I mean, a lot of the times he actually allows the players to run forward and just chase them. So again, I'm starting to think that Scott McTominay in the CDM position, maybe there's no qualities, because I said at the start of the season that there are qualities of a CDM and Scott McTominay, but I'm not seeing any of the things that I saw last season or even 2 years ago. I mean, Scott McTominay plays centre-back for Scotland, I believe, so there has to be something there in the defensive end, but you're not seeing it from Scott McTominay in that midfield. So I think that's why he gets a 5. It's more that he got beaten a lot than his actual movement and possession based on the ball, because I thought that it was all right. It was okay. It was decent. But yeah, a 5 for Scott McTominay. Paul Pogba, I'm giving Paul Pogba a 4. Now, again, he came alive after the penalty that he conceded, by the way. But again, Paul Pogba, where was the carrying at the midfield? I mean, Paul Pogba was in probably his best position, a left-sided midfielder that was more attacking and go box to box, but didn't have that much responsibility on the defensive end that he did in the CDM position. This was his perfect position, and yet we didn't see him grab the game. We didn't see him take hold of the midfield. We didn't see him boss anything. We didn't see any chances created from him. And we saw him concede a penalty, and it was a bad penalty to concede, because that was ultimately the decider of the game. Again, I'm not blaming everything on Paul Pogba. I think that's very naive, and I think that's too judgmental. But what I think is that this team let each other down, and Paul Pogba let us down as well. So that's all you could say. So I'm giving him a 4. Was he the worst midfielder? Was he worse than Fred today? I think besides the penalty, I don't think he was worse than Fred today. But when you concede the ultimate decider of the game, you have to get a lower rating than all of the midfielders in this game. It's as simple as that. It's not that hard to comprehend. So Paul Pogba, probably the worst player on the pitch because of that. And that's just how it should be. It's not the end of the world, but it's a big loss, and it's a big penalty to concede, and it's not good, is it? Again, I'm repeating myself now. Bruno Fernandes gets a 5 out of 10 from me. I feel sorry for Bruno Fernandes because a lot of the time we didn't have the courtesy to give him a ball that was good or to allow him to create anything. I think Arsenal's defence handled our two strikers very well. So Bruno was kind of on his own. But I can't say he had a good performance today either. Again, with Bruno Fernandes, if you're going to defend and park the bus, Bruno Fernandes needs to be the one that unlocks the key. Today, he didn't unlock the key. So it's just one of those performances. I can't say anything more. I still think Bruno Fernandes has been one of our best players. I still think Bruno Fernandes is one of the better players in the Premier League, if not one of the best players in the Premier League. And this performance won't change that for me. But again, you would have liked to seen something come out of Bruno Fernandes, but we didn't. We didn't see anything. I don't even think he took a free kick today. Majority of our free kicks were taken by Luke Shaw. So it's a difficult one to comprehend, but you take it on the chin. Bruno had a bad game, and I think he was rightfully subbed off. Now, the substitution of Bruno might have been the wrong thing to do, but he should have been subbed off, in my opinion, because he didn't have that great of a game. And I thought Van de Beek played better than Bruno when he came on. But again, that doesn't say much because a lot of our substitutions played well when they came on. Matic was one of our best players today, and he came on with 20 minutes to play. So it just speaks volumes of how bad our starting 11 was. Let's keep going. Marcus Rashford. I feel sorry for Marcus Rashford today. Again, didn't get any of the ball, had very little to do. I don't think he had a shot. If it was deflected or something. I don't remember a shot on target from Marcus Rashford. I have to give him a 5 because if you're not having a shot on goal, it's a bad performance. And it's just how the cookie crumbles. I don't necessarily think that 5 is all based on him. Again, if you don't have service, you can't create, you can't do much. But I don't know. I feel like we should have done more in the attacking end. And that also lies to the players behind Marcus Rashford that didn't give him the support he needs. But you can't sit here and say Marcus Rashford and Mason Greenwood had average games when everyone behind them didn't. At the end of the day, you are as good as your worst player. And unfortunately, that's why all these ratings kind of reflect that. So Marcus Rashford gets a 5. Not necessarily all his fault, but again, you have to take it on the chin. It's just the way that it is. And Mason Greenwood, honestly, I thought Mason Greenwood had a good game today, but again, I'm going to give him a 5 because there was no attacking shots on goals. I mean, he tried. Arsenal's 5 at the back really was the key to just beating us today because their defense stopped us. We didn't have that much shots on goal. And Mason Greenwood, he kept a lot of the ball today, did very well with his hold-up play. He should have got Gabriel sent off. I'm still 100% certain Gabriel should have got sent off. He was already on a yellow. That foul was worse than his first foul, to be honest, and he survived that. But again, I'm not gonna go in on the referee or anybody for that because at the end of the day, we were already down and out by that point. So Gabriel going off means nothing to me. So yeah, that was the team. Let's move on to the bench real quick. 3 substitutions. Nemanja Matic came on. To be honest, if Nemanja Matic started and had that performance, I think he would have got man of the match. So that's a big indication of maybe Scott McTominay shouldn't be playing in this midfield and Matic should. But I don't know. I really don't know because Fred didn't really look like the dominating factor either. So I don't know what Ollie's going to do. But I think you need to have both of them playing, to be fair. Fred and Matic. So I'm going to give Matic a 7 out of 10. I thought he was that good when he came on, and he was the most attacking player on the team. So that's a CDM that's doing that. So that's unacceptable from our team. Matic should not be the one that is getting fouled in the penalty box. Matic shouldn't be the one that's delivering crosses that hits the post or anything like that. But he was, and he shouldn't be the one that's taking the shots with the 90th minute left from an attacking position. But again, that's what he was doing. And that shows that our attackers didn't live up to their expectations today when you're having a CDM that's doing all the work. So, yeah, a 7 out of 10 for Nemanja Matic. People might even give him man of the match. I'm not going to be surprised by that. Cavani came on. Cavani had nothing to do. Had a few turnovers and a foul. I don't think Cavani was poor, but I just thought you need to give him service. I mean, putting Cavani on was a wasted substitution in my opinion because there was no service in that game. Mason Greenwood, in my opinion, should have stayed on. I don't think Cavani should have came on in this game because there was no service delivered to him. Cavani is a striker that works well with service. If you're playing 5 at the back, you're playing 3 centre-backs against 1 attacker because Rashford played very deep at the very end. It's borderline, he's not going to do much. And that's exactly what happened. He didn't do much. So I'm going to give him a 6 just for the fact that he didn't have that much time. And Donny van de Beek came on, and I thought Donny van de Beek did all right. Again, the substitutions did all right, and the game changed when the substitutions came on. But that was more because Arsenal went full defensive. I mean, Arsenal at the end had 6 players defense, 6 centre-backs. So they should have won the game from that as well, and they did. And Donny van de Beek had a good game. Again, I think his shot or like his cross hit the keeper and then the crossbar or the bar. I'm not sure if it was Van de Beek or someone else, but he was definitely there. I remember him being there. And that could have gone in our favour if we were a bit lucky. But again, fortune favours the brave. And we weren't brave enough today to go and get that win. And Arsenal were. And that's why the fortune goes to them. And bravery is not on us. So that's the team. Again, this is a horrifying loss. This is an unacceptable loss. It's a 1-0 loss. Look, the performance itself was nowhere near as bad as Brighton's victory. It was nowhere near as bad as Crystal Palace. It was nowhere near as bad as Tottenham. But the loss is much more significant in my opinion. That 1-0 loss is much more significant than a bunch of the losses that we've had, probably except for Spurs, because that was so horrific. But this loss means a lot to us now because we're still 15th. There are teams now that are 3 points even further ahead of us, and they were already damaging further ahead of us now. Our game in hand, I believe it's against Manchester City, by the way. I'm just letting you know that now. Our game in hand is doesn't mean anything now because with the game in hand, you could at least say, all right, we'd be at the top flight of the Premier League if we won this game. We would be within the 6s and 7s and 5s. It's pretty much where Chelsea is at the moment. But the sad thing is that this loss basically keeps us where we are. We don't go up, and I don't believe we go down either. We remain 15th, and we're still in the bottom half of the Premier League. We are still yet to get a very, except for Newcastle, I guess, a positive victory with a positive performance in the Premier League. We still have yet to see that. Only Newcastle was the positive Premier League performance that we liked, that we thought was good enough. We didn't see any of that from Manchester United today. So, at the end of the day, this is what it is. You take it on the chin, you move on. It's 1-0. It's a bad loss. We've got Everton next in the Premier League. We also have a Champions League game, which in my opinion, I just wish we could skip that and just go straight to the Premier League because we need a result there. But, yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Have a wonderful day. Hopefully Manchester United can just have a good run of form in the Premier League. I think that's exactly what we need. I think that's what we're going to want. But if it doesn't happen soon, it's never going to happen. And I think this one was the time. It was now or never. It might be never for Manchester United now. We'll wait and see. But, yeah, hopefully for a better performance against Everton. Everton's going to be a tough game as well. We'll wait and see. Take care and peace.